It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 Pacific for about an hour and 90 minutes each day. We do 3 gun-related topics each day, different topics throughout the week. We run it live on YouTube, and we simulcast it over at gunchannels.com. Gun Channels is a community we built a while back, and we're watching the live comments from the people that are watching the show live over there. When it's all over, we'll eventually take the audio and post it up on iTunes. We do that in batches, so if you don't see it there for a while, we usually do it every couple of weeks or so. And then we encourage people that might be listening now or in the future to leave us some feedback on the various platforms that you might be listening on in order to give us some idea of where you're listening and also to help the show get recommended to more listeners. We do appreciate that favor. So there's 4 hosts. 3 of us are here today, although Smeggy's in here twice. We got Dano jumping in from Illinois. Thanks for joining.
Yep, glad to be here.
And we got 2 Smeggies from Michigan.
Hey, how's everybody doing here today?
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
Smeggy and his alternative identity, Smeggy. So we don't know where Bob is. Well, actually, we kind of know where Bob is, running from the law again. People are asking if he's really running from the law. Yeah, he's really running from the law. So that's why they call him Biker Bob. He's an outlaw biker. Or he's driving to his old state, or whatever they call states up there. But anyway, he couldn't be on the show today, so hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. We're looking at episode 322, Second Amendment issues today. We're talking about good idea, bad idea, and we have the hashtag Daily Gun Show Showdown, as well as our State of the State. This week, it's Kentucky. Before we dig into all that, though, we usually take a break at the beginning of the show, see if anything happened overnight, anything worth talking about.
I don't know of anything. I've been out of the loop. I just know yesterday was Memorial Day.
Well, all I know is it's a quiet day, and that's a good thing because we have 3 aircraft carriers around North Korea, and that's a scary thing.
All right, well, I'm not scared of aircraft carriers, but yeah, yesterday was Memorial Day. Saw some really interesting stuff. People rag about social media, but there's some really interesting stuff out there. As fun as it is to learn about, I don't know, guns and whatever gun-related stuff we usually look at on the Instagrams and whatnot. There was some pretty good posts. People really know how to get a lot of information down into a little nugget, and when it's meaningful stuff, it can be pretty good. So thanks to all the people out there that were posting good stuff, and then F you to all the people that were posting some of the dumb stuff. There was like some people that just don't get it, especially over on my food one and stuff where I don't, they're not people that are necessarily patriotic or really understand the difference between a Veterans Day and Memorial's Day and or Memorial Day and Armed Forces Day, and a lot of sales, a lot of waving the flag around, and kind of annoying.
I saw a post. I think that was it summed it up the best. It was one where some officer was, handing the triangle flag to like a little kid, and it said, "This is what it's about, screw your barbecue," or something like that. And I thought that was pretty hard hitting. I was like, yeah, that's I got my feels a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't have to get angry at people that want to have a barbecue or whatever, but some of them were like just not putting a lot of thought into their ad, and they would be like, let's wad the flag up, throw it on the floor, throw some crap on it, and write a sign on there that says Memorial Day sale, and then they'll say like, Happy Memorial Day, thanks to everyone serving. It's like, man, I don't even get, there's a subtle difference between, we talked about yesterday, they only have the one day of remembrance in Canada because they just lump it all together. Like, let's, we appreciate each segment of our veterans or whatever, our armed force separately.
Yeah, we thank those who served on Veterans Day. We thank those who died on Memorial Day in service.
But overall, I think I saw more positive stuff by far than the negative stuff. And I think the social media, as much as people like to joke about it or give it less significance, I think it does affect change in big ways, because companies that put something out there that's dumb or without a lot of thought can get a lot of immediate feedback, and you don't necessarily get that with some campaigns. I've seen some campaigns where they went national, probably put a lot of money into it, only to find out that they did something dumb that isn't going to be taken right by the people they were trying to impress. So anyway, I think overall I see the trend being more towards people just acknowledging the days of remembrance like this, and then less taking advantage of it, or making it a day of sales or whatever. That being said, they were talking about all kinds of sales in the chats last night, so there were quite a few sales yesterday.
Yeah, my email got slammed on Friday with Memorial Day, whether it be firearm sales or ammo sales or this, that, or the other sales.
It was kind of a cool day on gun channels too, just a different day. Not everybody was the same working or what, so different group of people. Pretty chatty though, pretty good day. Anyway, so I guess we'll dig into the show then. So Second Amendment issues, Second Amendment update, two-way update. So we got in here. I guess we're doing this a few days before the second. Or do we just want to go straight into Kentucky?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to update as far as that goes. I can go over to Every Second Matters, see if there's any new stuff. I'm trying to scramble and do Kentucky here real quick, but
yeah, I had always thought that that like when we do the state of the state, that's really part of the Second Amendment issues. It's just a subsection of, rather than its own thing.
Well, so I guess then let's ask: is there anything to update with the Second Amendment on the national level, and then we'll dive into Kentucky specifically. But I don't think anything's really has passed or is moved. Hearing Protection Act still sitting there, national reciprocity sitting around. So yeah, I don't know if a lot has changed this past month. I know April was a big month for all the different states, but I'm not sure what's happened so far this month.
A lot of the state houses may be out of session in regards to, as far as where their members are literally supposed to go back to their districts to talk to the people, as far as why we're not necessarily hearing a whole lot.
Are you guys getting any chat on the YouTube side?
I haven't seen anything pop up yet. Only you.
Okay, so it's not broke. It's going to be on the YouTube side today.
There we go. Okay then, yeah. I don't know why it was dead air. Sorry, I'm trying to look stuff up real quick. I don't know if maybe you guys are also.
No, I don't do the state ones. Okay. So
testing the YouTube side that the
oh yeah, they're
chat
out there.
is working. Okay, we just not getting a lot of feedback at the moment, but that's all right. Yeah, Pink Panther. Maybe everybody join gun channels.
Are we done with Kentucky then?
Not by a long shot, since we haven't started it. You want me to go ahead and fire it up?
Let's do it.
All right. Every week we like to cover a state, and this state of the state, we will cover Kentucky and go over some of the basic categories. And of course, this is all subject to updates, so some of this may not be dead on. But in regards to a state permit required to purchase for long guns or handguns, none is required. In regards to firearm registration, there is none. In regards to any registration of assault weapons or restrictions on assault weapons, there is none. There is no magazine capacity restriction. There is no licensing of owners, such as FOID cards like we have in Illinois. For long guns, there is no concealed permit required, where for handguns, if you want to conceal carry, you are required to have a permit, but you are also allowed to open carry without a permit in Kentucky. So you can open carry both long gun as well as pistol. And then in regards to state preemption of local restrictions, that's a yes, which is a good thing. No NFA items are restricted. They have the peaceable journey laws, which means if you're from another state, you can drive through their state without having to worry about being harassed. And there are no background checks required for private sales. So, and that is the state of Kentucky. And one thing, just mentioning it in comparison's sake, into a recent trip that I had taken down to Tennessee, is that one difference between Tennessee and Kentucky in regards to gun laws was the open carry. Is in Tennessee, there is no such thing as open carry in regards to handguns, where in Kentucky, you do have open carry. You have that option. And I was just kind of surprised that Tennessee didn't have that. But today is about Kentucky. And they seem to be a very pro-freedom in regards to gun rights.
Yep, and that's I'm seeing something here. When was this at? It was in February. They added an amendment to the constitutional / permitless carry that is, I guess, a positive thing. I'm trying to see what it actually did, but it basically, they somehow like strengthened the permitless carry bill. So that would be pretty.
I believe it was in regards to post-secondary educational institutions like junior colleges and things like that.
Yeah,
as well as concealed carry is allowed in public housing and private dwellings. I can guarantee you in Illinois, there is no firearms of any type are not allowed in public housing, period. So it's nice to see that those that may be poor living in public housing are not discriminated against in regards to protecting their own lives.
So does it, I guess I'm not seeing, do they have constitutional carry in Kentucky?
No.
Okay, so this bill from February, it was, I guess I didn't find the tracking for it, but it was definitely introduced and then amended. Okay, so that's the news story I found about it. It was just, they were amending it to make it a little bit better, but it didn't pass.
Well, let me modify what I just said, Smeg. They have open carry. You can open carry with a rifle or a pistol without a permit.
Right.
So I guess, do you want to consider that constitutional carry?
In my definition, though. But yeah.
Okay.
So the only other thing I'm finding on here is, which I don't even get this. It's kind of weird, but they made a change to the training class requirement, in order to get a concealed carry permit. And they removed a provision that requires students in training class to clean their guns in a class setting. I don't know why that was in there to begin with. Like, why do you have to clean your guns in front of an instructor in order to get a concealed carry permit? And I guess maybe they got rid of it just because it's dumb to have to do it anyways. This article is saying like, oh, it's dangerous to do that. I don't think it's necessarily dangerous to have a bunch of students cleaning their guns. Just make sure everyone gets rid of all their ammo. But I think it's just dumb that it's required to begin with. So it's a good thing that's not required anymore.
There's something, and it's hard to say if it was an old wives' tale or not, that I know happened. It was very commonly referred to back in the 60s and 70s. And that's when there were cases where it was unclear if somebody committed suicide or they were actually just cleaning their gun. And it's hard to say whether that was real or not. But I think that's part of the reason why it was probably in there from years ago.
Yeah, I mean that's possible. I don't mean I know I've heard that saying of like, oh, I was just cleaning and it went off, but I've always kind of thought of that as being that's the excuse people give when they have a negligent discharge, or if someone kills themselves, instead of like the family member saying, oh yeah, like the person killed himself, they're just like, oh, it must have been an accident, like kind of like to save face or
Right.
whatever.
I agree with you. Like, I'm cleaning this M60 right now, and there's nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute.
What is happening?
Is this an answer ambush happening? Or is this
Oh my God.
So
An answer ambush is a flashback.
yeah, they don't have this much time with an answer ambush. Since we're talking about the state of Kentucky, what inventor of a famous submachine gun was born in Kentucky?
Ooh.
The answer on both the gun channels, I guess technically the YouTube side.
Hey,
So
there are some
who's
people
the
on YouTube
inventor
right now.
of the submachine gun? Is that what you said?
So there's an inventor of a famous oh, we already got the answer.
Thompson? Thompson?
The answer was Thompson submachine gun. So very good.
Mr. Angry, congratulations on the answer ambush.
What happened?
Answer ambush, answer.
That's what you are. So congratulations on that. We'll send you over to thedailygunshow.com, and we got a page over there. You can grab a patch.
That grenade, good job.
All right, well, so should we keep going, or are you guys going to finish up Kentucky?
I don't see much else to Kentucky, at least as far as current events.
Yeah.
They haven't been doing much. It seems like they have some pretty good laws, and so they're not really tweaking them that much.
It seems to me like it's almost, you know, it's high in regards to freedoms as most of the states that we have gone through. You know, Kansas is an exception because they are a constitutional carry state. But when you have open carry of both handgun and long gun, that's kind of the same thing. Especially when you allow it in public housing, which is normally something, especially in larger cities, that's never allowed. Because you're, you know, when you're, excuse the phrase, but sucking off the government tit, that's usually part of the restrictions on it. If you're going to do that, then you have to live by their rules, and their rules is it's a no carry zone.
Yeah, and I always think that's
to me a major difference.
Yeah, I always think that's ridiculous that, you know, you can't have guns in a public housing thing, because normally that's where people need to defend themselves the most.
Yeah.
And it's like if they try and say, well, we want that because that way, you know, criminals won't be able to have guns there. Well, if the criminals are felons, then they're not allowed to have the guns anyway. So, you know, obviously a rule on the apartment complex or whatever isn't going to help anything. If they get caught with it, they're getting in trouble with the law, not just, oh, you broke your lease or whatever.
Right. And logically, you know, laws are only intended for law-abiding people like you and me. So do you want to really restrict law-abiding people from being able to defend themselves? Because criminals are going to do what criminals do.
Right. It definitely will take a step up if it gets constitutional carry, as far as, you know, concealed carry goes.
Yeah, I guess concealed carry is the only what I'll call A- part as I look at their laws.
Yeah, but it's still a shell issue, right?
It's what I'll call a half a step below Kansas, and although we haven't covered Arizona yet, I don't think. So, but it's interesting. Sometimes you'll see that, you know, as an example, articles, you know, the top 5 states to live in for gun, you know, with the best gun laws, and you don't necessarily hear a whole lot about Kentucky.
Well, that's one of the reasons we focus on one each week. So that was Kentucky. What do we got next week?
Don't know. Let me run down, check it out. It's
Tennessee? No.
I think so.
I guess we are. Yeah, Tennessee. So
it was just in a different column.
we got two pro-gun states right next to each other. Tennessee's pretty.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see the breakdown in Tennessee. Doing because I always kind of viewed them as like one and the same. I realize they're different.
We can all acknowledge
but what the differences are.
We can all acknowledge Tennessee's pretty anti-gun. We'll talk.
Well, it's just that when you take and draw an artificial line between two land areas, which is what happened between the southern border of Kentucky and the northern border.
How every map is made.
Well, no, that's not necessarily true, because if you look at other borders, you'll see that there's rivers and things like that that separate one state from another, or one area from another, natural borders, or maybe a mountain range, something like that. But when you have an unnatural border, and I mean, to the north of Kentucky, you've got the Ohio River, and to the south, you've got a man-made line, which is the Tennessee Kentucky line, and then south of that, you have another artificial line going through Mississippi and Alabama.
All right. Well, I guess that solves that. Every piece of land is part of the state, and it's still part of that state till you hit a chunk of water. So we can condense a whole bunch of states out west that just are big boxes that have no divider.
All right. Well, speaking about a divider, we're going to divide that up and head over into good idea, bad idea.
Yikes.
How's that sound for a good idea?
That's a bad idea.
We're going to be talking about turning guns into the police. And we can talk about all different kinds of ways. But before we do, we always like to take a break between the first and second segment of the show each day to feature one of the members over at Gun Channels. Gun Channels is a community we built a while back, focused on firearms, completely membership driven. Lots of things to do over there. Lots of members been around since the beginning. We're going on 4 years now. We've got 5,000 members altogether. Hundreds of them been around since the beginning. And today we're talking about, I don't know if there's any, I think it was just people that were hanging out in the chat when I was filling this up. So there's no real organization or whatever theme to this week. But DB is our member of the day, DB Cooper. We've mentioned him plenty of times before, I'm sure. He's member number 3 running Gun Channels, and hangs out quite a bit. Comes in pretty much, you never know. Sometimes during the day, sometimes at night. With his chaotic work schedule, it's just whenever he's got some free time and he has some time to BS. He's pretty knowledgeable about the stuff he's knowledgeable about, and has a good time with some of the other stuff. And overall, good guy to bounce some ideas off of if you have a solid question. And then just good guy to BS with if we're just BSing.
Yeah, definitely. He does have a lot of knowledge, and he's very willing to share that. But sometimes you have to read between the lines when he's joking around. It definitely is an interesting way of communicating sometimes. But I think it's pretty darn funny once you realize that he's just joking around. I mean, he's not being mean or nothing.
He can be very animated, especially more so when he's drinking.
Well, you got to remember, think about his childhood. He grew up on the streets of New York, nothing but a cardboard piece of cardboard and dreams, and then worked his way up through the rap game, the gold record producer. So, real.
But he's also a great resource to have around, because he has gone through for good reasons, bad reasons, a little bit of both. He's had so many different firearms. It's another resource to have. I mean, I don't tend to roll through firearms at the rate that he has in the past. So he has, in that regard. So if you want to question about this firearm, that firearm, he's more likely to if it's a pistol, have had it at one time or had something close to it.
Well, that's enough good stuff about DB. You'll need to hang on a gun challenge for a bit and then experience DB Cooper for yourself, and then you'll understand why he's got such a great fan base. So let's talk about turning guns into the police. I think this came up with Bob's finding that 1022 and immediately calling the police, and everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, that's what I would have done too." So I can also think it could be gun buybacks, which are also turning guns into police. So I don't know which way we want to take it. Where do you want to go?
Well, I guess when I think of turning guns into police, I'm thinking like, dad dies, mom doesn't know what to do, so she just turns them into the police.
That
I think of it that way, bad idea.
Well, I mean, there's never a good idea. Or do you guys? I don't know. So, I mean, I just assumed we were all going to say bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't have. So, good idea, bad idea, Dano.
Bad idea as far as I'm concerned.
Maggie?
Bad idea, except I know no caveats or whatever, but I think the Bob thing was a good idea.
Yeah, if you find something that's not yours and may be a firearm with a body on it, you don't want to hold on to that. And in
Well, I'm
that
not going
case,
that far, but
I'm going to say good idea to get rid of it through the police.
To assume there's a body on a gun just because you find a gun. I don't understand that part.
well, I don't even
understand.
think that far. I just think it's a good idea based on, maybe someone's looking for it.
Exactly. It doesn't belong to me. It's doing the right thing. Like if I found a wallet on the sidewalk and I open up and it says, "Oh, this is my neighbor's wallet," I would go over to my neighbor and I'd give it to him. But if I didn't know whose it was, I'd turn it into some central authority.
Central authority. Yeah, exactly. I could expect that from Bob, who's the subject. But here, so what? Are we going to have our cops be the lost and found for everything now?
For things of value, they already are.
Oh, there.
You find a car on the side of the road, who takes control of it? The police do.
I don't know if you find a wallet.
I mean, they have been the source of things valuable lost and found for a long time.
Well, I think you can put something on the newspaper and a Craigslist or something, say something found, describe it, it's yours. Describe where and what.
Well, why should the onus to pay for that and manage that be on you versus putting it on the police department, who has people just sitting at desks?
I don't know. I don't like the idea of the police being in charge of all the lost and stolen guns out there.
Okay, except that they're the only government agency that has facilities to secure it.
Well, and they could at least do a lookup and see, who bought it, and then call them up and be like, "Hey, we found this. Give it back to you." Although I think realistically, they probably don't do that. They probably just take it and get rid of it. If I had to guess.
But again, if it's of something of value,
I don't think the police have the authority to start calling manufacturers and asking them serial numbers and then following through with distributors and then gun shops and then asking. I mean, I know that's not done. So,
but if something is stolen from my home, I'm going to report that it's stolen, and my insurance company is going on to see if anything has been turned in.
yeah, exactly. So let's say you get a bunch of stuff stolen out of your house that's no value, TVs, motorcycles, stuff. You're going to make a list yourself, and it's going to be on you to go to the pawn shops and leave that list or something.
You're echoing, Dano.
Sorry.
You gonna finish up that, G? It was just really bugging me.
No, I hear you. I don't know. I was pretty much done. I was just saying, a bunch of stuff gets stolen and value of your house. You're not going to just give a list to the police department and sit back and wait for it to show up. It's not their job. It will be costing.
Police have a stolen property department. Larger departments
For the
do
most
anyway.
part, it's a giant database, if I'm not mistaken. And then if they catch somebody and they've got a bunch of stuff they suspect, they compare it with the giant database. And if it's stolen, then they go, okay, great. But I don't think every time something's stolen, there's a bunch of people that go out like on TV and start going through the usual suspects. They're knocking down doors and matching serial numbers with stuff.
You're right. They don't scour the neighborhoods looking for who it belongs to, but they do have evidence rooms that they keep evidence in. And without knowing its history, it is evidence of something.
Well, all right. I guess when we're talking about this, we don't want to pull a Yankee here. So you're thinking of a gun, I guess, some kind of like handgun found, like, I don't know, in a schoolyard or some shit in a town. And I'm thinking every gun I've ever found is out in the woods. And obviously some hunter left it laying there. So I don't think there's a body on it unless it's a bunch of deers or something. And I would think you'd maybe go to town and you'd maybe take it to a couple of gun shops or post a picture somewhere. And if you recognize this,
in that scenario, I would agree with you. Yeah, if you're out in the woods and you find a hunting rifle, that would be logical.
Now, let's say you find a pistol out in the woods. Am I thinking it's a crime gun that some criminal drove all the way up to the mountains, wing a gun out in the woods, or some guy went target shooting, gave his kid a gun and the kid dropped it, or any number of things. This guy was ATVing and it fell out or whatever. Guy was flying in an ultralight and it fell down. I mean, I don't start thinking bodies, and I start thinking, well, I guess it's like they're saying in the chats all over, finders keepers, right? So at some point you're like, oh, I found a gun. Like somebody lost a gun. That happens. Property gets lost and other people find it sometimes. You might want to take a little bit of effort, because if you feel like, oh, if this was my gun, I'd like to at least think somebody was trying to look for the owner. But
I guess I would like to know that, somebody didn't get away with a heinous crime because I decided to play finders keepers. And now the fingerprints that connected person A with crime B is gone forever.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know where you would draw the line. Where you draw the line, Smeggy? Me and Dan are finding
Yeah, I don't know. I think the location thing is you brought up a good point with that, because you're right. Out in the woods or whatever, even a handgun out in the woods, it probably fell out of someone's Uncle Mike's holster when they were driving a ATV or something. But like in town, then I would lean more towards Dano's thing of it. It might be related to a crime or whatever. But actually, I do have a story that's not even related to this. It's more, well, it's turning in guns, but it's more like, oh, someone passed away or whatever. And that is, my grandma did that. Apparently, my grandpa had some type of gun. I don't even know what type. It was some type of old revolver. And when he passed away, my grandma wanted to get rid of it. And my dad had expressed interest. He was like, hey, I would like that. Like, my dad's kind of a gun guy. And he's like, that'd be kind of cool. Like, if you don't mind. And she was like, oh, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. Like, I'm going to turn into the police. And so it's like, what the heck? Like, does my grandma think that my dad's a bad guy or something? And then she goes to turn it into the police. She lived in like a rural area. She goes in to turn away. And the officer is like, if you turn this in like to the police, we're going to destroy it. This is a really, really nice gun you have here. And she said, well, then you can take it home. So some police officer has my grandpa's gun that he saved from destroying because it was worth a bunch of money. And I have no idea. I love my grandma to death, but I have no idea what the heck she was thinking. Like, if you don't want it, at least just like sell it to a gun store if none of the family want it. And then you had a family member that wanted it. Like, that would be an even better option. But just some random cop has a really cool gun. Like, that's so that is 100% super duper duper bad idea. Don't turn guns into a cop if it's that type of scenario.
I muted you, Daniel, so if you're saying stuff, you're muted. So Pink is saying that on the gun channel side that there's sites out there, websites that you can go to and type in a serial number, and it'll tell you if there's anybody else that's reported it as a stolen serial number. So that's an option. I don't know if I'm comfortable with the government running anything like that. In fact, I'm opposed to something like that. But if individuals or locality, civic organizations or something, branches of the NRA or gun groups or something want to do them for their area, I guess that's something you could do. And then you could think about how far away it could physically have gotten and check the local states or something, or the nearby states or something.
Now, over on YouTube, there's a couple comments I just want to read quickly here. One from William. Back in Alabama, I had 2 guns stolen out of my car in a small town. A couple of days later, the cops called me to come in and identify my stolen rifles. Here in Illinois, I wouldn't expect to see them again. Interesting concept. And let's see, where was the other one? What if the other one was more of a question? Is what if the serial numbers were removed?
Well, that's definitely more of a red flag.
What you might do, whether it be a rifle out in the woods or not.
Well, that's different because that's somebody who's altered the gun and made it a felony to own, or something.
So I like this comment. Apparently, the Fort Worth PD had a turn your guns in weekend, and they didn't get much.
It says they did get much. They did get much.
Oh, well, then I'm reading that wrong. I was thinking that they. Never mind. Well, that's a bad story. I thought that was a good story. But yeah, as far as like the buyback things too. Well, I don't even like call them buybacks, right? Because it's not like the government owned them to begin with. But the voluntary confiscation thing for a freaking grocery store coupon or something. I can't stand those because it's like, and they always hype it up as we're taking these guns off the street. And it's always the little old lady or some dude or whatever that just doesn't feel like having a gun or whatever. But it's not, criminals are not coming in being like, we've decided not to commit violence anymore. Here's guns.
No, that's not true. Criminals who have crime guns and don't know what to do with them are very comfortable dropping them off at a no tell, whatever they call it, drop off type of situation, where they get paid to leave their crime guns.
Yeah, one of those where they're assured that there are no cameras, they won't be asked any questions, they can just drop it off.
Yeah. The police are probably, I don't know what they're thinking is. I guess they're happy to have the gun so they can start working evidence off of it or something. But I don't know. I think those things aren't meant to, I think they're supposed to be if somebody's got a gun and they're not comfortable with it, or like you were saying, they inherited it and they haven't got to that point where they took it to the police. It was easier just leave it in the closet. I think these things are designed for those people to be able to bring their stuff in and drop it off so that it's not there to be stolen. Somebody kicks in their door and decides to rummage through their closet or something. And I don't know. I guess that's potentially the only valid part of it. But then why does it have to be the police? If it's truly going to be a buyback, why not have the local stores involved and then give people fair value, make it more like a Antiques Roadshow type of thing. Bring us the stuff that you're not comfortable with in your closet. We'll tell you about it. Maybe give you a little story about your uncle or grandpa or whoever it was that put that thing there, give you fair value for it, and then that it's going into a system where maybe a kid will get it and be shooting a sport, or somebody's into hunting will appreciate it, or somebody's just into restoring. Maybe a gunsmith can restore an old gun.
Well, as far as getting your money's worth, I think that cuts both ways. There's some literally guns that are broken, don't work, or barely work that probably might be worth $50, and if they can get 100 out of them, they're actually better.
Again, going to gunsmith school, you're required to bring in guns exactly like that, so they can go to use.
Yeah, I guess I always wondered with the people that, let's say it's like completely trashed out or whatever, and they take it to a buyback or whatever. Why wouldn't you just like throw it away? Like if it's just a chunk of metal, it's all rusted, doesn't work. Like, why do people feel like they have to give it to like an organized thing when they just like
I can give you a reason.
If you have a busted out card, you have to take it to some place, or you just give it to like a junkyard and get $5 for it. Like,
I can give you a reason, Smeg. Either a child or someone who's mentally not all there. I shouldn't say many. Children and people who are mentally defective have been shot carrying around guns that don't work, that are broken, because they feel it's a magical talisman.
Are we talking about 9mm owners? Let's not always bring it
So,
back. Okay.
but I mean, are these children's rooting around at the scrapyard? I mean, what the hell? Just, I don't. You got to go to a recycling center and get the gun?
Well,
Let's
why
say
not
give
throw
it to a
away?
child. If the thing doesn't work, just scrap it out.
Why not throw it away? Is for those reasons. People are.
Well, I'm saying if you're throwing it away, then you're just putting it in the trash. Anybody can garbage pick it.
Yeah, and they usually have these things promoted, and it's like it's sort of that reminder. I don't think it's on the top of people's minds. Otherwise, they would have thrown it away, right? This is the kind of thing where they happen occasionally, and they tell them at church or at their civic group or whatever, and then or when they're getting their government benefits of some sort, they'll remind them about it, and then they go, "Oh yeah," and then maybe they got an incentive. Maybe so and so, asked them to do it, or hey, do you have any guns that you can participate? I really need to get a bunch of guns here this weekend, and then they also got the incentive of the stupid gift card. So now they're thinking, oh, I'm getting $50 if I throw in the trash, I don't get nothing. I think criminals because they think it's ironic. They done the crime done right back to the cop.
So gun buybacks. I think that's basically the question. Good thing or bad thing?
Bad.
Bad idea.
Spaggy?
He also said bad.
And I'm going to say bad. Anything else we want to toss in on this topic before we move along?
If we've solved it for you, you're welcome.
All right. Whoop.
Oh, well. So
What's going on?
Wrong button, damn it.
time to start your piano lesson.
This high-fangled technology. All right, it's time for the tactical, what the hell? Tactical. There we go. Pop quiz of the day. So those of you over on YouTube and those of you over on gun channels, limber up your fingers. Put your thingy down in the text box. Mr. Smeggy, are you available to officiate today?
10-4, good buddy.
As long as this thingy.
All right. Have you seen the supplied answer?
I have seen the answer provided.
Oh, not supplied, but provided. We just like to, I can never quite get it right with you, can I? All right. I will read the question twice, and words matter. And if you've heard this question before, I have several questions based off this same theme, so you may or may not have heard something similar. The question is as follows. Colt Single Action Army was designed in what year? The Colt Single Action Army was designed in what year?
Tick, 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 tick.
1873. 1850.
No.
1840.
There we go.
1870.
We got it over on the YouTube side. It's the Chesney. Or
McChesney, 1872 is the year we were looking for. So McChesney, congratulations. You are today's tactical pop quiz winner. You know what to do, but just as a reminder, head on over to dailygunshow.com/pop quiz. Fill out the form, put your first and second choice, and congratulations, you are today's tactical pop quiz winner.
That's on the YouTube side, right?
That is on the YouTube side.
Yes, they beat it by a fraction of a second.
Huh. To win it.
Yeah, so yeah, some of the people on Gun Channel side did get it, but too slow.
Yeah, and by slow, we're talking like a second. It was just a hair of a difference.
So it's the Chen Z. By getting the right answer, that makes you the tactical hot shot of the day.
Good job, Smeg. Now,
It's a repeat. If you don't want your patch, you don't have to follow through.
exactly. Reinvest in the show, sort of a thing.
All right. Speaking of that, I think it's time for something else today. We don't have a gun shop today. When do you guys have a gun shop?
I thought we were going to do tidbits next. No?
Go ahead.
I'm all set up on the dance floor, and I'm all by myself.
I didn't read that over there. Now go ahead.
Tactical tidbits for today. Today we're talking about number 11. Just as a review, number 10 yesterday under gunfighting rules. Number 10 was, someday someone may kill you with your own gun, but they should at least have to beat you to death with it because it is empty. And number 11 today is from John Farnham, but it is rule number 11. You must decide to be aggressive enough and quick enough. And that is from John Farnham. And that is today's 11th gunfighting rules. You must decide to be aggressive enough, quickly enough. And that is tactical tidbits for today.
It's true. You got to go from 0 to all out. It's tough, especially if you don't ever do it.
Yeah, because I could see if you're sitting kind of hesitating or something, right? Because it's an unfamiliar situation, and they're trying to think like, well, where do I draw the line? Is he really quite attacking me yet, or not really? Like that. I think that's kind of the whole part of mindset, and that's why you go to training classes, is they might have some insight on that and get you thinking the right way.
It kind of spins off in the direction, something that I will get off into in later future shows later on, is we'll be discussing the OODA loop decision cycle. And that has to do with what Smeggy and G-Webs were mentioning. And what goes into that, and the time that takes away from doing something. So, but that's what that's the focus is on the OODA loop, and it's a decision-making cycle based on what you observe and so forth.
Wait a minute, the OODA loop.
What the heck?
Would it throw somebody off their OODA loop to get a freaking second answer ambush right in the middle of the freaking daily tactical pop quiz? Who developed?
This is crazy.
Who developed the OODA loop? You only get it answer. You only get the question once. It's for the gun channel, the YouTube side, or the gun channel side.
Boy, I want to answer that if I just knew the question.
You didn't hear the question?
That's what's wrong with your OODA loop there. It wasn't working good enough.
No, not Cooper.
Not Jeff Cooper.
Not Jeff Cooper either, yeah. We're not going to get an answer?
Was it Boyd?
Yes, it was Boyd. The answer ambush at the end of the song, so.
And
that was Dr. No on YouTube, just barely ahead of Pink Panther. Like, that was half a second.
Oh, yeah. What?
And John Boyd was a aircraft pilot during the Korean War.
So, no beat Panther. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying.
All right. So we had a winner on the YouTube site again, even though there's a lag over there. Dr. No grabbed that one.
YouTube must have upgraded their server or something over the weekend.
I don't know. Something happened. It's freaky. But yeah, so you never know when an answer ambush is going to happen, and that threw you off your OODA loop. So what's this OODA loop?
That's something that in Tactical Tidbits we're going to go over after we finish the gunfighting rules.
Okay, so then we'll look forward to that.
Yep.
All right, so then we'll move on to, somebody have a gun shop today?
I do not.
I'm going to say I could do one that I've done before, but I don't have any new ones.
Well, let's do that.
Let's do that. Okay. In that case, we're going to go with Firing Line in Livonia, Michigan. It's a gun shop and a range. They have, I'm trying to think, I don't know exactly how many lanes they have. I'm going to try and type and talk at the same time, which is hard to do. But they have two different like handgun ranges set up that have, I don't know, maybe 18 lanes or something. And then they have a rifle range that has 3 lanes, but it goes out to 50 yards or 75 yards, something like that. And but the store itself, they have quite a bit of inventory. It's packed in there pretty good. And most of the people are nice. There's one dude who's kind of a jerk, but whatever. You always get that, I guess. Or you can get that sometimes. You just ignore him. But well, that's nice little thing there. Anyways, yeah, they got a bunch of guns, and they seem to know their stuff there. They help new shooters out, and they teach, CPL classes, and they have training and stuff like that. Well, I don't know if you really call it training, but they have like shooting classes where they teach you how to shoot better.
Marksmanship.
We get some like pictures of the.
You talking like marksmanship then?
Yeah, just like how to shoot a gun better. So it's kind of a small picture, but you can see their ranges there. It's nice. They got the little electric. You just type in like, oh, go out to 10 yards or whatever, and it goes boop, moves out.
They're called target scooters.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, they don't really have very good pictures. So they do have a bunch of guns to rent. So that's the other thing. You can just go up there, and if you're not sure, maybe you're looking to buy something, you can just go ahead and rent some guns first. And then I know, is it 2 or 3 rents, whatever it is, like if you rent the guns a few times and then you end up buying a gun from them, they'll give you like 2 or 3 rental, like whatever that is. I think it's like $10. So they'll give you like 20 or $30 off of the gun if you buy it from them, if like you have your receipt of renting from them before you bought it. So they're definitely like a encouraging try before you buy. And yeah, it's cool shop. I wish they had better pictures on their website, because I don't have any pictures of them. There you go. That's the gun shop of the day. Firing line.
If you would throw a link in there, we'll link it over on the place.
Yeah, definitely will.
All right, so that's the gun shop. Every single day we try to mention the new gun shop, and we get some in the emails, but we didn't get a lot, as many as I thought. So if you do know about a good gun shop, remember that you probably got a phone you probably have a phone in your pocket. It's probably a camera. Ask them if it's okay to take a few pictures and share them with the internet. Most of the time, almost every single time I've asked, people say sure. And then post those pictures on your Instagram or on your Facebook, or make a video and put them on your YouTube. You can even do like a slideshow. Just describe the pictures you're looking at. Put them on gun channels. Same thing. You can put up like a slideshow or something. Or what do they call them? Playlist or whatever. A couple of pictures in a slideshow, I guess they call them. Anyway, then you're getting the information out there about that shop. Somebody might be out there in your area. Somebody might be traveling or know somebody that lives in your area. Recommend that shop. Might actually get somebody in the door because of it, because of your efforts. That's always a great thing. But if the shop is just trying to compete on the internet, more likely it is, whether it's with its Facebook page or its own website or whatever, then everything you're doing to link to it is going to help it out. So you're really helping the shop out, helping the show out, because we're able to talk about a new gun shop every single day. You're helping your shop out in a couple of different ways. So it's really worth your effort. And if you do that a couple of times and you find out that it's something you like to do, you never know. You might find some success with, or at least have some fun times and get a little more access when you go to these shops, if all of a sudden you're bringing people in the door. I can tell you from experience, you take a few pictures of a shop and they start getting some people in the door that said, I saw you on the internet. Yeah, you get a lot more smiles when you go into those gun shops in the future. So it's worth everybody's while, and really do encourage people to do it. Just like Smeggy did here, he just kind of looked at the website. If you want to do something like that, send us a link to the website and give us a description or something. That would work, as a step too. And
and that's the thing you mentioned of taking pictures and putting it up. Like for this shop, they didn't really have good pictures on their website. So if I would have taken pictures and linked them on Instagram or something, then people that are searching for them might see the Instagram pictures, and then helps them out. I'm not sure if we got Dano. He said he was messing with his mic. I haven't heard him yet.
Oh, we gave the reason Smeggy's able to post links on the YouTube side is he's been given moderator status.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah, so we can't hear Dano. So I don't know how much of what I was saying was muted. So anyway, send in your pictures of your gun chops. Did any of that stuff come through?
Yeah. No, you were talking that whole time.
Okay. So I guess let's keep digging. I want to take a second, go off the schedule. I'm going to do it since Dano's not even here. He can't yell about it. So before we get into one of the other segments of the show, let's talk. Well, maybe I should wait for Dano to get back. I don't know if he got his cards or not. I was going to talk about the trading cards. Oh, he left. He didn't even want to stick around for the rest of the show. So let's talk about this movie called The Evil That Men Do. Have you seen it?
Evil That Men Do? No, I have not.
Dano, are you back? Can you talk here or are you just listening?
All right. Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, you're fine. There was nothing wrong with you before.
Can
I
you
don't know
hear
why you left. Yeah, we can hear you fine. Now you can't hear us probably. All right, well, I don't know if Dano can hear us or not.
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right. So we're talking about The Evil That Men Do. And when I type it into Google, I get this Bronson movie and also an Iron Maiden album. So I'm thinking we're talking about Charles Bronson movie because I see more guns on it than the Iron Maiden album. Although we should do top 10 Iron Maiden albums because there's some guns on Iron Maiden albums. Anyway, has anybody seen The Evil That Men Do? I tried looking for it. I couldn't find it online.
I have not.
It
Big
looks like
surprise there.
well, it looks interesting. Looks like an old 70s or something Bronson movie, maybe 80s.
It's from '84. A professional killer comes out of retirement to investigate and avenge the brutal murder of an old friend.
That happens to me a lot, so I don't like to watch movies that are so similar to my life experiences, but I do like this 1100. The sawed-off 1100 is pretty cool. Or is that an 870?
I wouldn't know the difference.
Well, the 1100 is just somehow out of the
It is an 870 according to IMFDB.
Oh, okay, so it's an
It's a
870.
Reynolds Model 870 Express left-hand,
Oh, it is left-handed. Interesting.
ribbed for her pleasure.
This is what happens when you allow left-handed people
Thought
to
I was
shoot.
bullshit, you know?
No, when you allow left-handed people to shoot, they start becoming hitmen and chopping their guns off too short.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the movie. It's not a great review because none of us have seen it, so we're going to throw it out there for the audience, see if anybody has seen it. Give us some reviews. It is in the U.S., but not Europe. I don't know if he's talking about the movie or something
Tell us
else.
what you think.
Am I muted?
No, we
All
can
right.
hear you.
All right, so we're not hearing anything. So let's assume that
Yeah, I can hear you.
must be a good movie because of Bronson, but we don't really know. All
So
right,
maybe go watch it.
that's the whole point of this segment, though, right? To recommend a movie that you haven't seen in a while, or if you're youngin', movie you ain't seen yet. All right.
So what were you saying about the trading cards then? You want to get into that a little bit?
Oh, is Dano back now? Can you hear us, Dano?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, did you get
Can you hear
any-
me?
Yes. Jesus Christ. Everyone can hear each other. Okay, we're good.
Did you get anything in the mail today, Dano?
Oh. Why do you keep asking if I can hear you? Yes,
let's-
as a matter of fact, I received 2 things in the mail today.
All right, so we're talking about the trading cards.
I
So-
got a
Oh, he's listening on the lag.
yes.
That's what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh.
Yeah, see, that's what it is. You're way behind us, Dano. That's why it sounds so weird. So, anyway, we're going to talk about the trading cards. What do you guys think? I'm hoping some of the other people out there listening have gotten theirs in the mail as well, and we can talk about where we're going to brainstorm these.
Well, I know I got mine when I got home today.
Yeah, mine showed up. Nice. In fact, I got a Smeggy, but I didn't get a Just Dano. Smeggy, did you get a Just Dano?
I did get a Just Dano. I think G is convinced that we have met each other, or I think he's going back to the whole thing that we're the same person.
Fuck both of you. You both got Z's also. So it's obviously I sent all of those show each other's. The fuck? So you didn't get a Dano though? That doesn't make sense.
No, I did not get a Dano.
I don't know how that
I
happened.
thought you did that on purpose, though, as far as not giving each person their own card.
No. Did you see if it fell out on the floor or like got wadded up or something or something? They're little.
Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, now
That
you're
sound
lording
right?
it all over. Now he's counting them in front of people. So anyway, I don't know if we need to talk about it today, but I wanted to see if people got them and then encourage people to post them up on Instagram. So one of the ways we're going to try to, get the word out about gun channels and hopefully come up with some way to use them. You can see I threw dominoes on the back of them just as something to do. So, but there's lots of ways we can be creative with these things, and I'm looking to get that going. So we've got the actual cards out in people's hands now, so people can idea what we've got to work with. And then I guess what I'm asking now is, what do you guys think? Should we do it as part of this show? Should we do it as a separate show at some scheduled time? Should we try to take over like one of Matt's shows or something?
Well, I do have an idea. Is if people are having a hard time trying to figure out how to get a use out of these things, I'd like to just throw an idea out there to the universe, regardless of how it's used. And that is, size-wise, these things are just about perfect to sit inside of a trigger guard. So if you take a picture of a firearm, you can take one of these cards and set it in there. Just saying.
Yeah, to answer G-Web's question, I think we should just do a separate show on I don't know, one of the off days when there's a bunch of people around, and brainstorm some ideas and talk about it more. Like maybe if there's a bunch of people in the lobby and we're all talking about it anyways, we're like, hey, let's jump over to a separate show and do that.
Well, I want to do it where there's enough time for people to brainstorm before the thing itself. So why don't we say, is anybody going to be around Saturday before the tactical quiz after Rick's show?
I may be up north, but if not, I should be home.
I don't know. Is that too late for you, Dana?
I mean, my Saturdays are always kind of sketchy as far as when I'll be available. I mean, I'll be available sometime Saturday. I'm just not sure if it's early Saturday or later Saturday.
Wonder if I should do it earlier in the day Saturday. But Travis does his earlier. He does it before
dawn.
Yeah, like before crows are up or roosters are up. I don't know what time crows wake up. So, well, I guess give us some suggestions in the comments, and we'll just go with whatever the consensus is by the time the show's over today. We got a little while to go. So, you people who are listening right now, on the gun channel side, all your votes will weigh times 2. All the the YouTube side, your votes will weigh times 1. And give us some ideas of when you'd like to see the show. Is Yankee this week? I think he is, right?
He's every week now. Oh no, but you guys on every other week. So yeah.
If I'm obligated, basically. So right. Then I could do it after Yankee, or I guess after this show before Yankee. That's right on top of Tac Daddy, though. I don't really want to do that. So I could do it after Yankee, or we could do it Friday, I guess. If I don't remember what we're on with Heavy. He's probably moving this week, so probably not doing a show. And we could do it Friday then.
Yeah, let's pencil it in for Friday, and then if we get a bunch of comments after the fact, if people are listening, you just leave a comment to the video after it posts, or send an email to dailygunshow@gmail.com. If we get like 1 million people saying, "Oh, Thursday's awesome," then we can just do it then or whatever.
Rick's Life as I See It is Saturday midday. Are you around for that one ever, Dana?
I sometimes can catch part of it, but not necessarily the whole thing.
So maybe instead of doing it instead of Rick's show, we could just do it on Rick's show. That's another option if he's willing to let us hijack.
Yeah, if he'd be willing to do that.
And then that works because then we can send people over to his I think Night Strike's saying Tuesday is awesome. He's saying right now, like in 45 minutes.
Well, I think he's just trying to hoard viewers.
So, but yeah, we'll take more suggestions as we go along here, and then we'll just talk about it then. So, otherwise, what do you think of the size there? I made them that way because it's cheaper, right? Smaller. I also got them, and I was like, I don't know if I thought about what Dano said, but I kind of thought, okay, these are a little bit smaller than a whole size playing card, which would probably get annoying. Like you don't necessarily want to carry those all around. You can put those things in a little baggie though, and they're small. Put them in a pocket of a range bag or something.
Yeah, I like the size. It's cool. You can, fit them everywhere. And the only thing is that will be something to consider if we are brainstorming like a game to play. Everyone wants to add like 20 things to it, and there's not going to be room for all that stuff. So we'll have to keep that in mind.
Back, though. It could be like the logo and stuff on the one side, and then all the
but even on the back, I mean, we can fit a handful. But I'm just saying that we'd have to draw a line somewhere. That's all. Something to keep in mind.
Draw a line on the card. Well, I would put that on the back.
Okay.
So
yeah, and Rick says he's good with us stealing. We see the Gun Channels chat. We just didn't interrupt, but yeah, he's good with us stealing the time slot.
So what is what time is he doing it on Saturday then?
3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, Eastern.
Oh, 3 o'clock
Eastern.
Okay,
yeah.
So that'd be 4 o'clock. Okay, I could possibly do 4 o'clock on Saturday.
Hold on, the other way around, right? 3 o'clock for him is 2 o'clock for you.
Right.
You're right. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock I could still possibly do.
Unless Dano's relocated to some kind of a oil rig out in that.
Yeah, unless I'm called for an op.
Yeah, exactly. Then in which case, you'll just have to go with satellite kilo time or whatever. What the hell is that again?
Yeah. GMT.
Zulu time. All right, so I think with that we can move on. Thanks for everybody participating in those, and you should be getting them in the mail. Most everybody. Like I say, I ran out of. Oh, here's the other thing. I ran out of shipping, or I got sick of shipping them basically, because it was costing 50 cents every time I stacked another envelope, and I wasn't sure at what point to quit sending them and who I had sent. I mean, I kept track of who I sent them to, but there was some people that just got one or two, so I just didn't know when to end it. So I ended it, and I was left with some extras that we put on the eBay. So since I don't know what to do with these things, I'm considering them prototypes. We'll be doing something to use as a game, and that whatever we end up with will look different, right? It'll have numbers on it or nothing else. It'll just be different. So I figured since I ended up with extras of these things that I have no use for, I would put them on eBay and try to recoup some of the shipping fees. So if anybody wants to, I'm throwing the link out here. So anybody that didn't, anybody really, even if you did get some cards and you want to participate, there's like 5 eBay auctions up there. I just linked to the biggest one, and then each of them has a couple of less. And I think I tried to make them an assortment. I noticed on this first one, there's 2 Smeggies. So probably all the ladies are going to go after that first one. The bidding will go up pretty high. But the others, I don't think I duplicated. Oh, there's also 2 big gunners on the first one. I just noticed that too.
Oh, what do I got to do to get my own card?
Is there even
Buy the eBay auction?
That's why I did. I was like, who's got all the money? Like, I'm not gonna not send that and then put their card in with something else. I think I ran out of Danos. There's not any Danos in these sets, are there?
I've not found one yet.
Theory, dude. Oh, I guess I could be doing it this way.
Oh, there's one over in the assorted 3-pack.
There's your Dano. You got stuck into this one accidentally, I guess. Accidentally, 1999.
Yeah. Now that free deck only cost me $20.
Oh yeah, I don't know how that happened. Either it got fat fingered or you lost it, and I think you might have lost it because I can't imagine I did. I mean, it must have made enough Danos. These are the extras, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Bob wasn't here. He steals stuff.
Yeah, believe me, the first thing I did is I looked in the $8 pile to see if mine was in there. And I figured, nope, I can't get that lucky.
Well, I figure some of this cash will go towards shipping some of the stuff on the Daily Gun Show as well. So we do have some for the tactical quizzes. We do got those coming. So those shipping charges will be coming up here in a bit. Yeah, I guess it's just that one with the Dano. But all of them have a Smeggy, I think. And this one has a Florida Carry dude. There's only me and that one. So that's the only one with a Florida Carry dude. And I don't think there's very many Ralphs. Basically, I only needed like a Ralph for Marco. I think he's the only one that's met anybody. And then I just made a couple, right? And then I was like, well, am I going to send all these to everybody? So I just quit sending them to people and put them into these packs. Anyway, if you're interested in them, they're sitting there. They're all about $20, and that's the trading cards, the beginning of the trading cards. We'll dig into them, it sounds like, sometime later this week, potentially.
Oh, the bid on eBay, that's just for 24 hours?
You were saying those have about 1 day and 6 hours, they're saying. They're probably
Right.
put this
So
night.
if somebody's listening, you got 24 hours basically to bid.
Yeah, and those will be gone. They'll be gone. And then you'll have to trade them off of whoever's got them. I kept whatever the ones were mine, for people I met. And then anyway, I figure that's also, I guess my thinking is that's a way for somebody who didn't get any sent to them or hasn't met anybody to still be part of the whole thing. Or for somebody to hoard, if you want to just hoard them.
Or just buy my own picture.
Yeah, or just participate. How did I get scrolled way down there? So I don't know where we're at anymore. We did that one, thanks. And gun history. It's not really gun history. We talked a little bit about Thompson, though, earlier because we were talking about Kentucky. And it looks like he was born in Kentucky. Dano talked about that. We got that coming up. We did that already. Oh, are we going to do this thing still? Do we have, what's the music for this thing?
I don't know if we have music. Showdown. Hashtag. I'm dyslexic and I said it backwards. So it's the hashtag showdown.
Yeah. That was my poor imitation of a cowboy.
A cowboy getting run over by something.
I don't know. Something like that.
Pushed by his tractor.
So we're going to go to the Instagrams and we're going to search for hashtag Daily Gun Show.
All one word.
I just figured out something too that what we can start doing. Daily Gun Show. Boom. It says 387, right? I'm going to start taking that 387. Look what I'm doing. I'm putting it in there right now. Wherever hashtag.
Oh, that's smart.
See, now we don't have to go look for it. Or no, know what I was going to do? Not just put it in there. Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. Next Tuesday, boom. It's already there. We don't have to go searching for it like we have to do right now to figure out what it was last week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's smart.
Yep. So now I'm going to waste a bunch of time scrolling down this like 322 character long spreadsheet until I can find somewhere up here to see what we were at last week. 367. So 20 of them came in this week. 20 of them.
Oh.
All right.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm trying to recover my password from eBay.
So do y'all remember where they ended? I'm just kind of winging it.
It's somewhere like right in here. Because right below, like, because that's the Kickstarter live video and stuff. I thought that was last week, maybe a little bit past that. No, I remember that coat with the hot shot on there.
This I definitely remember, right? So I'm gonna go with this.
Yep.
We already liked it, so it must be something like that. So now I'll start going this way. Wait, can't you scroll through?
You used to be able to, just hit the arrow.
Where's the other damn arrow?
Can only go forward?
Yeah, what's up with that? You can only look at the ones you already looked at. Stupid Instagram. So I guess I'm going to the top anyway.
And then go down.
To the most recent. There we go. So now we're looking at pictures that were posted on Instagram, or in this case, a video of people using the hashtag. Bob's not here, so it's just the three of us. So he's probably come up with a winner this week.
I'm not familiar. It says a double barrel double defense. I don't know what that is.
Stoger double barrel double defense. I don't know. Is that
I mean, Stoger double barrel shotgun.
Yeah, but I mean, it looked like it popped in 2 holes each shot.
well, that's just the
Just the wad?
maybe that's double defense is the ammo. Is that a name of ammo that throws out 2 shells or 2 slugs? I mean,
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm not either. So we got Studley posting this shotgun picture. What's it with shotguns this week? Is it shotgun week? And we got Jimmy posting his trading cards. That's what we were talking about earlier. Getting out there in the mail.
Just shows you how to use them. One way.
It's me reposting Matt's picture though. Got Arctic. Nice picture of a, what is this? 308?
Yeah, it's a bolt gun.
And all bolt guns are 308s, right?
Yeah.
It's like all cats are boys or all cats are girls. All right, so there we got Leech. Is that something? Lichen? Lichten.
Lichtenstein.
Got a little self-defense knife with gun channels decal on it.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. It fits good on there.
Beretta.
The cigarette is a little over the top, but I like it.
Another dog pick. Everybody's figuring out the dog picks. Or was that the winner last week? That might have been the winner last week.
No, I thought there was one that was like behind a scope or something laying down.
Oh, okay. You're right. We could also probably take the image and put it into the show notes, and then we would know. Knives was asking Matt earlier about the Banana Mag one. This one's the Banana Mag one from Red Star, or from Century. This is actually a sticker on there, so it's a little weird. Oh, there's Precarious. We always like
Yeah, it's I'm liking that one. And of course, always beautiful backgrounds.
This looks like a blanket or maybe a carpet.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
There we go. That's probably your double barrel right there.
Now that's kind of a cool. I like the head stamp and the fact that you got a couple different colors going on.
Good picture, you mean? Yeah.
In the head stamp.
A lot of texture in this picture.
Yeah.
1022. Bob was here.
It was found.
Yeah, it was found right after it fell off of
Never
those branches into the river.
Got a bunch of mags. Why ain't I getting this anymore? What's up with that? What's it about this picture that I couldn't go to? It's not letting me go any further.
Oh, Instagram's being dumb. That's a bummer.
It's the scam.
I wanted to know what these were. So these look like Buzz Bomb over there.
Yeah, some type of artwork type thing, like I don't know, like drawing up a model or something.
Keep clicking on the arrow, but it's not going on. He's got a couple here. This one's bayonet. And then this one's pistol. Maybe for some game or something.
That's what I'm thinking, maybe.
Yeah.
There's the original one from Matt. Thanks for linking that.
Hey, you got the arrow back.
What?
The arrow is back to go forward.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Then we got an AK.
Now, I,
I
definitely
really like that
the,
picture.
the a little bit of the wet look as well as the texture of that one. I really like.
I don't know what's sitting on. What's it sitting on?
It's hard to tell.
Chris
Now,
just-
do you think that's a gray Glock with a black top?
Yeah.
Okay, I just couldn't tell if it was my monitor or not.
I think that's all of them. So we only had 20, right? I think that's about right. So it was about. Oh wait, did we see this one? What's going on with this? We didn't see any of these. Did we? Oh no, that's.
No.
I didn't remember seeing it.
These are in this top one. Top.
I mean, it's in the top post, but like the one in the middle there, which I think is the best one so far, like that one wasn't in the most recent, even though it's
But this one's
from
from
earlier today.
No, it isn't. It's from February 1. Or
No, I wasn't talking about that one. Go up a little bit. That middle one.
Oh, this one?
No,
How
not
did it get in the top post if it just got posted 3 hours ago?
I don't know. Instagram's being dumb, but that's pretty darn cool.
Is
If
it
you
being
say so myself?
Is it being dumb or is the system rigged?
Somebody needs his sound effects board.
All right. Well, what are we voting on? I'm apt to vote for the dog smoking, so that's going to be my vote.
Yeah. You know, I do have to say that the dog smoking did kind of get me right from the start.
And I'm gonna go with the AK from Steadley. Very artistic, good use of filters.
But on the creepy alien-looking,
Yeah, like the
Thorax?
tar sands or something.
I'm assuming it's an alien thorax. And I don't like how comfortable he is to be able to set an AK up on the thorax of a giant alien like this.
Well, maybe he already shot it. You know, you've seen those hunting pics when after you shoot the thing, you lean the gun up against it and take a picture.
I guess
So
so.
maybe he killed an alien, in which case he's making our world safe.
Then it just seems a little like irresponsible to leave your gun laying on top of dead bug alien when there could be another one nearby. I don't know. Let's assume he had more guns, so that's fine. But it's still 2-1. So dog smoking wins. Boom. That's the way the game's played. You use the hashtag, we give out the loot. So is Jimmy out there? Probably not. It's out there working. But this is the one that won.
Dang it, I accidentally hit back on my phone. I was going to go leave a comment on that picture, and I got to scroll all the way down.
I can leave a comment like, oops.
Oh, Jimmy James said, yo, dude, you won. You won the hashtag showdown. I'm just going to keep
All
trying
it took
stuff
was
till this
a
one sounds good.
semi-pregnant dog and a cigarette.
To win the hashtag, go hashtag. Because I'm not looking for my W's. Where is he? Yeah, Jimmy just won the hashtag showdown by giving your dog cancer. Also, ASPCA is going to be calling you. We're giving them your info as well.
Yes.
But
Giving your dog cancer. What kind of dog lover do you consider yourself?
all right, so every week, that's what we do. We go over to the Instagram, try to get people using Instagram. We want to thank people for participating. If you go over to Instagram yourself, click on the little, magnifying glass at the top, type in hashtag Daily Gun Show. You'll look at the same list we were looking at, or probably the really close one. It probably does filters based on something, your friends or something, but go through and see some of the people that are posted using our hashtag. That tells you those are other people who are watching our show, more than likely. And you might get some cool channels to subscribe to. They'll see that you're out there. Maybe you'll get some subscribers from it. And that's part of the goal of our show, is to get people who are creating content, networking out there, establishing methods and channels of communication. So when the time comes, we have them, we've practiced them, we have them established, we know how to use them. And when we need to get the word out there effectively and efficiently, we're the ones that can help do that. So we encourage you to do that. And that's one of the ways we do that each week. And we keep talking about all these prizes and stuff, and we're eventually getting to the point where we'll have that area cleaned off where we can pull out all the loot, and then a bunch of stuff will start going out. So if you want to help get ready for that, we're bringing in about $80 a month on Patreon. We're definitely going to be spending more than that on shipping, so we could use all the help we can get. We have products out there. We've talked about them before with our logo on them, t-shirts and mugs specifically, and soon some patches and some decals, and any of that kind of purchases will help with the shipping and just help overall keep the show moving along. We appreciate everybody who participates that way.
Yep, and I know we've said it before, but having Daily Show logos in your pictures for the hashtag showdown gives you some bonus points.
That's a good point. We don't see enough of those, do we?
We saw a bunch at the beginning, and now people aren't using them. I guess they need to buy some more patches and stickers and stuff.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Getting a dog, cute little dog, taking a bunch of dog pictures, and then throwing the dog away, that's just not cool. Don't do it. Like, keep the dog if you're going to use them for pictures.
Yeah, but at least, like, you should still have a new dog every week, though, right? I mean, I don't want to see the same dog all the time.
New dog every week is better for points, yeah.
Patches versus Riverside. Oh, yeah. So get a dog, throw a Daily Gun Show patch on its collar or whatever, put the dog in the river with the gun in its mouth. I just broke the internet. You win.
I don't know what to say. So we're going to keep moving on. I think that's it. And we've outlasted Andalusia Armory. It sounds like they just finished up. So let's see. I think we hit everything we wanted to hit today. That was episode 322. That means we'll be back tomorrow with episode 323. We'll be talking about online CCW training. We'll be talking about guns in... Are we talking about guns on vehicles in movies? And then potentially the tactical quiz again. We'll be talking about a gun shop tomorrow, a movie tomorrow, gun of the day, all that kind of fun stuff. We do appreciate everybody that participates in the show. We're trying to create new type of media here using the interactivity. That means people that are watching us live are a big part of the show. We do appreciate everybody that's out there. We've got 34 people listening all the way to the end. Thanks, everybody. If you know somebody who you think might be interested listening to the show live or in the future, please consider sending them a link. Consider subscribing to our channel, maybe putting a link to our channel or something, or a podcast that you've enjoyed. Keep in mind, over on YouTube, you can go specifically to a point in the podcast and then click share, and then click share this particular point, and it won't start that link at the beginning of the podcast. It'll start it at the moment you think it's something that we're talking about. So if you want to use it as an example to somebody, or if you want to tell somebody, hey, this is a good show, here's the part to listen to, why I think it's a good show, you can send them to that mark, that point in the show. So the link will be created with that index or that bookmark, I guess, to that point in the show. So you don't have to send somebody to a show and then wait till the 34-minute mark to hear the good part. So just keep that in mind, and we do appreciate people that take the time to do that favor for us. It really does help get the show recommended to people who are interested in creating content and people that appreciate content that is created by regular everyday people that is Second Amendment oriented. So with that, I don't know who's ending it, but we'll end it.
I will take the place of Bob for today, if you're all set.
Sounds good.
And today we have one from Larry Elder.
Oh, wait, did we even do gun channels tonight? We're screwing the whole Tuesday night crew.
There's nothing good on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock.
Hit or miss at 9. Covered it.
No, we also got Big Gunner. Big Gunner does
on
Tuesdays as well.
Yes, Big Gunner 81 afterwards.
Maybe the second year mark. Remember that on Tuesdays there's another show besides Kingdoms.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we like to end the show with a quote, and today we have one from Larry Elder. And today's quote is, "A woman who demands further gun control legislation is like a chicken who roots for Colonel Sanders." Be prepared, and thank you for watching the show.
The guys and gals of GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching GunWebsites.com.